Now, some suspected political thugs have attacked 4 lawmakers of the Kogi State House of Assembly at a hotel in Lokoja, the state capital. This follows a continuous controversy that has prevailed since the alleged impeachment of Honorable Jimoh Lawal as Speaker of the State House of Assembly. Governor Idris Wada has called for calm and urged lawmakers to show more respect for the rule of law. This is a spontaneous reaction to a motion moved by Honorable Ikubile Ochijenu Acharu, claiming 17 members of the Kogi State House of Assembly signed the impeachment of the Speaker, Right Honorable Jimoh Lawal. This leads to a free-for-all fight as order breaks down. Kogi State Governor Captain Idris Wada advises lawmakers to respect the rule of law and allow peace to reign. However, while some of the factional principal officers take time out to relax in the hotel, some political thugs storm the place, destroying cars belonging to principal officers. Factional Speaker of the Kogi State House of Assembly, Honorable Godwin Ojo, points an accusing finger at the embattled Speaker, Honorable Jimoh Lawal. He claims Lawal's brother led the thugs. In a swift reaction, the embattled Speaker says he's being set up by political detractors.
It's better the whole world see what is happening. This person leading 25 other honorable members will send talks. They came in his official hillocks. His younger brother led. The majority leader of the House of Assembly, he went to the bank. As he was coming out of the bank, they attacked him. He informed it, and we converged in our hotel room, and we were making calls to the Commissioner of Police and to the Governor of the state.
This is a calculated attempt to rubbish me. I don't move with talk, I don't parade, I don't have business with any talk. Anything that happened in Reverton, I'm not in the knowledge, and since morning I'm in my house. I'm not part of such a dastard act.
Although some form of order has been restored, there's still a sense of legislative uncertainty as both lawmakers continue to lay claim to the speakership of the House. In continuation of our review of critical sectors of the nation, tonight we turn our attention to the judiciary. Our correspondent Shola Shirley reports that 2015 was a very busy year for the courts, especially with pre-election cases and election petitions.
2015 started on a not too pleasant note for the judiciary. Like it happened in 2014, judicial staff workers again downed tools and embarked on an industrial action to force the executive to implement a verdict of the Federal High Court Abuja, which declared as illegal, unconstitutional, null and void the control and disbursement of funds earmarked for the judiciary by the executive arm of government. After the intervention of some critical stakeholders, the workers resumed, and perhaps the first challenge the courts were confronted with were the pre-election matters, which could have affected the conduct of the general elections. After the courts dispensed with these suits, the elections held and were judged by many observers to be largely fair and credible, a development that led to the decision of former President Goodluck Jonathan to concede defeat to his challenger. And for the first time since the return of democracy, there was no petition filed to challenge the presidential elections. This, however, did not stop other candidates at other levels of the elections from challenging their losses at the tribunals. In anticipation of the election petitions, Justice Mohammed in February swore in 242 judges who were selected to serve on election tribunals. The tribunals have since concluded their jobs, and the legal battles have shifted to the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court, which is the terminal point for governorship election petitions.
They have conducted their jobs within time, and that's very good. It's the idea of an election petition lasting 3 years into the term of the incumbent governor who may be deposed later has not arisen. I give that to these tribunals.
Most of the judgments that we have seen been judgments that are actually in compliance with the provision of the Electoral Act. We have also seen judgments where there is need for you to also question the rationales of some of those judgments. However, largely, I think nearly over 70% of judgments I have seen so far have been in accordance with the law.
One good thing that has happened to the judiciary this year is the passage and signing into law of the new Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015. The Act, which is operational in the courts of the Federal Capital Territory and other federal courts in Nigeria, is to ensure that the system of administration of criminal justice in Nigeria promotes efficient management of criminal justice institutions, speedy dispensation of justice, protection of the society from crime, and protection of the rights and interests of the suspect, the defendant, and the victim. This new law would be well tested in the new year, especially with the corruption cases pending before the various courts.
Lawyers, defense lawyers seem to raise objections, seem to want to take long adjournments on the pretext that they have so many other cases they will be appearing on, pretend that they're traveling for medicals, and pretend that even the accused will be traveling for medical.
Joining me now on the news at 10 is a constitutional lawyer and human rights activist, Wale Ogunade. Thank you for joining us on the news at 10.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, before we delve fully into the judiciary in 2015, let's get your take on the appeal court's judgment nullifying the election, the governorship election in Akwa Ibom State.
Well, I saw it coming because obviously I followed the matter, even as an election observer. I knew that there were various elements of malfeasance in the process, particularly in Akwa Ibom. I knew that definitely if it goes to an appeal on the tribunal, definitely it will be, the election will be nullified. And of course, the Court of Appeal has ruled against it, followed again. So I know that definitely that's it. It's an unfortunate. You see, the whole thing is about procedure. You don't follow procedure, then there's no two way. All this running and playing pranks, legal gymnastics, will take no one anywhere.
Very quickly, the former National Security Advisor, Colonel Samboda Siki, was also granted bail to the tune of 250 million naira. What's your take on that?
Well, unfortunately, yes, that's the problem we have in this country. The law supports the strong rather than the weak. And unfortunately, the law is supposed to protect the weak against the strong. I go to prisons on a regular basis. In the course of my work, not that as, as an inmate. And I see, if you go there, you see that all you have are poor inmates, sometimes 50,000, 2,000 naira phone takes them to prison, because getting to prison in Nigeria is the easiest thing. All you need to do is, as you are staring at me, if I don't like the way you are staring at me, I do a complaint to the police. That's all. And they will take you to their police station. The next day, they will reel you to the court, and the magistrate will not look at it very well. All they need is that, yeah, you must get a shorty, a bail condition that is onerous. And before you know it, you are in jail. And it's a terrible thing. And of course, the person is there without anything. But of course, the big man will steal the big money. And of course, even though it's aggregation, but all the facts are there, and yet he goes with a sweet bill.
Well, looking at the governorship elections that are taking place this year and the reruns, especially in Kogi and in Bayelsa State, where election results have been upturned, do you think that this is probably, as a result of some flaw in the electoral process or the electoral act? Is it responsible for, this situation that we're in?
No, there's no flaw. The law is clear. You want to conduct a primary, it's clear that you have it in your ward, in your constituency, and in the state. And a primary is taken out of the ward, is taken out of your constituency, is organized in another place. That's against the law. And an aggrieved person will, of course, eventuate his grievance. That's one. Two, even there, the regulation is that for anything that has to do with primaries and so on, INEC officials must be there. Not writing INEC is your own problem. If you write INEC officials and they refuse to send their officials on that day, then that's not your problem. So you see, there are so many things that happen. The law is there. They are not there for fun. You don't follow the law and you don't say that the law will take care of you. That's the problem.
Very quickly, a general assessment of the judiciary in 2015. There are some quarters that believe the judiciary is corrupt. We've seen some cases, you do know of them. But how can we come out of this situation?
Wonderful.
And carry this into 2016?
Wonderful. The Bible in Psalm 11:3 says, if the foundation is weak, what can the righteous do? The judges are the handmaid of the law. The judges dispense justice. That's the judiciary. I'll put the block and this blame at the lawmakers, and that's why the people comes in too. When you want to vote, you vote people who have no pedigree, who have no fear of God. Don't make laws. All of us go to Dubai, and we know how Dubai is. Some 7 years ago. And what has transformed Dubai now? Law. Simple law. You don't go there and mess up in Dubai. You don't do anything. You go there, you follow the cues, you go to places and do the things you do rightly. But here in Nigeria is a country of anything goes because the law can be skewed in favor of a big man. And where am I going? It's the law. Once the laws are there to encourage impunity, then we'll have all these things that we are having. A society gets the system it deserves. If the lawmakers don't make laws that is good for the society, definitely we'll continue to move in circle.
One law I think that has been good for the society is the Criminal Act law of 2015.
Good.
But we still have a lot of delay in the courts. We also still have a lot of trials being stalled contrary to the intent of the law. What do you think is the problem?
It's because, one, it's just a new law. A whole lot of awareness, a whole lot of sensitization has to be done. Because just as I'm talking to you, last week I was in court, even this Monday I was in court, an issue of bail, that the law takes care that, the judge will look at, or the magistrate will look at the situation, the crime, and the bail and the situation, and ensure that indeed they give them, or even sometimes go on self-recognition. All those things are not there. But then we'll get there. And thank God that you mentioned the Administration of Justice, Criminal Administration of Justice Act 2015. All those things are things that definitely, when we start making laws, it will take care of the situation now.
Well, interesting conversation I've had with you. Thank you so much for joining us on the News at 10, Mr. Wale Ogwade.
To God be the glory.
I've been speaking with constitutional lawyer and human rights activist Wale Ogwade, reviewing the judiciary in 2015. President Muhammadu Buhari says one of the best exhortations to the nation he's heard from the pulpit was the one made early this year by Father Ejike Mbaka of the Adoration Ministries in Enugu, southeast Nigeria. Receiving Father Mbaka, who was a guest at the State House in Abuja, President Buhari expressed his appreciation of the Catholic priest's exemplary courage. Father Mbaka urged Nigerians to support the federal government in its drive for change.
Emmanuel, Jesus that is born, and establish permanent blessing upon the entire Nigerians as we are going for Christmas. We wish to pray for spiritual revival. We wish to pray for economic revamp and for integral wellness and for moral probity in this country, commending the country to the Emmanuel, Jesus that is born. So we are commending the entirety of this Asorok to the hand of God. We commit the good vision and mission of the Mr. President to the hand of God. So we are here to commend Nigeria to Jesus.
When the News at 10 returns, overnight rates at the interbank market steadies at 1%. Details in business news. Please join us again.